Good afternoon. This is the moment that I glue the chimney to our house with two little clamps and some white PVA glue, wood glue. I left it overnight to dry, and now it's the moment that I can take the clamps away. I can remove them, which I'm doing now. And it seems that our chimney is glued well into place. Know that this is a tapered chimney, so we should make sure that this isn't exactly vertical because this is tapered. We should use the center of our chimney. This should be a center line here, and you should make that this vertical is aligned, that this is aligned to this, that it is parallel to this, the center line of this chimney, because it's a tapered one. It seems it is well done. All the cardboard strips are installed for the top of the house and the window, and the little window here is made as well with the hatches. Still, I have to do what's in the middle. I'll have to find a finer material than cardboard to do that. The one on the side is done as well, and at the back it has the roofs. In total, we are ready with the entire house except of the middle part of the windows and the front door, which is coming here, is coming a front door. And now I will do that later, the front door, and I have started with the roof. The roof is just a base of cardboard, and I measured it and made it fit to this, and I made that it has an overhang at both sides. At both sides it has an overhang of like 7 millimeters, 7 to 8 millimeters. It has an overhang, as you can see here, and it will be later glued into place. Now I am making the wooden shingles. As you can see, I'm making the wooden shingles. These shingles are from cardboard as well, the shingles, and it has a very nice effect because it adds a lot of relief to it. As you can see, it starts to look like a real house now. The roof is the finishing touch. Now these strips are made out of cardboard as well, just like the base. And I will put this away now. They are 4 millimeters wide, made out of a strip. I should know that the back of the strip was kind of high gloss, you know, the publicity, because this is just from cornflakes or something similar, or rice, and you have to sand it with a grit of about 120 sandpaper, which I did, and then I marked them 4 millimeters wide every strip, and they are about 7 to 8 millimeters long, and I marked it with an ordinary pencil. I marked them. So that's the table of 7 is 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 60, 56, 63, and so on. And you just continue marking those. And then we'll cut it, those strips. With just a scissor, no need for a knife. And we take our scissor and we'll cut the strip 4 millimeters wide. This has to be done quite exact. Try to do it as good as possible. Even though it doesn't really matter if one shingle, these are going to be wooden shingles. I will later paint them as if they would, and they will make them look like wood. And so we cut those strips 4 millimeters wide, which is more or less okay for the scale I choose. The scale is 1 to 72, which is 1 centimeter in reality is 72 centimeters. That's a very common scale, a known one. And then we'll start to cut them to size. Every single one, I marked them so I can do it now. We'll cut them. This is a time-consuming job and it needs some patience. But if you don't have to do it all in one time, you can do like every week when you have some free time, you can do a little at a time. And so we do one strip more. I have several strips here, but I can do those. We'll just make a very quick tutorial on how to do the shingles, because like that you can do the same for your model houses. These shingles, they have to overlap each other. That means every row, in other words, every row is overlapping the previous row. So we take a toothpick. We can take a toothpick now, and we take some wood glue and we dip it into our glue, and we start applying it a little at a time. No, don't overdo it, because it starts to dry, especially when the weather is a little bit warmer. You have to be quick doing this. You should hurry up, as your glue will dry fairly quickly, quite quickly. And then, as there is still a little bit of glue on your toothpick, you just do this. You don't even need a pins or something. Just lift them up. You make them overlap a little bit the previous row. I start from the bottom of the roof, and then you just apply every single shingle like that, and then you wait till the white wood glue is drying a little bit, and you remove the glue, of course, between every single shingle, because we don't want them to be with glue, because then you can't see the difference between two shingles. We want there to be relief. So we wait a little bit, and then we can start to press a little bit, gently pressing down. And on purpose, we don't put them every single one. We don't put the rows too exact, because then it would be very boring. We put them on purpose a little bit like a mass, because then it looks more interesting for the eye, as these wooden shingles in the real aren't perfect either. So that's why we make that the rows are not. I do it on purpose. I started in the beginning to put them too neat, yeah, too organized, too well arranged, and then I thought, no, I'm doing it wrong, and then I started to make them look more chaotic. And so we continue with the toothpick, applying some glue every time for like 5 shingles. And then we can continue picking shingles with our toothpick and placing them. There's nothing more to it. It's as simple as it looks like. The only thing it needs is patience. And so we install them. And then we have to wait till the glue is starting to set. And before the glue is starting to set, we should still remove all excess glue, because otherwise you won't see any difference. This one should go a bit more up. And I can now start removing all excess here. Later on you can still pass with a nail or something and make the relief better, and the difference between make the borders more clear. If there would be some glue left, you could scratch it away with a nail when it's dry, but it should be said that it is much easier now in this stage. Now we can start pressing them down gently, not too hard, into the glue. And we remove all glue that came out, was squeezed out because of the pressure. And then on purpose, some you should make them a bit irregular. Some are popping out more, some not, and that's what we want. Now you can see our row. And that's how it should look like. Now you can see also probably that there is a difference of color in the cardboard, but that doesn't matter if you're going to paint your model. If you aren't going to paint your model, then of course I strongly advise you to use the same color of cardboard. We can play with colors of cardboard, but with the shingles, then they should most probably it would be a wise idea if you make them all of the same color, because otherwise it would look a bit unesthetical. But in this case, I'm going to paint everything, so make it look like real wood. And in that case, it isn't that big of a deal. It's no big deal. And that's how the roof is done. It will be done on both sides like that. The other part will be a bit more tricky because there is a chimney and it should go fit around it more or less well. Even though we can still we can trick it a little bit, but not too much. And this is how it should start to look like. As you can see, the house starts to look. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to glue here under a strip under under the roof. I'm going to I'm going to glue a strip all up here the front to imitate as if it would be a big piece of tree that is supporting the roof, of course. Otherwise it would look a bit strange if it's that thin. And then after the strip is glued, then we can glue down this side of the roof, can be glued down into place, and then the other side will be made and also glued down, and then at the very end we can put a strip of wood which is carved on top. But even that one you could also, instead of carving, you could also glue the same kind of shingles onto it. I will still have to think about that. And after we have accomplished the roof, we can finish this door and the parts of the window for the glass. And then if that is done, I will make probably some track terrace in front of it with stones and a firewood here on the side. The side here will come firewood and a little bit firewood here as well, or something for the horses, maybe a stable. And then we can start to paint. Thanks for watching. Hope it inspired you.